All right. Good morning. Tell me some good news. Y'all enjoy your extra day? Who did something cool over the weekend?
Yes, it was nice. I got to catch up on some sleep.
Awesome.
So that was good.
Well, it sounds like you earned it because you put a house under contract, yeah?
Oh yeah, I did put a house under contract too.
Good for you, man.
Fun.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So now you got to just tell the world about this. You got to now you've got some pretty impressive stats. You sell houses on average for 7 days on the market or whatever it is, right?
Yep. Boom.
Don't forget to tell the world.
Which felt like a long time.
Well, you're still above average, my friend.
Thank you.
If you want to improve it, you got to go find another listing and sell it even faster, okay?
Yep. That's what I'm working on.
All right, why are you guys all hiding today? Why do I only get to see Jan?
Well, I'm driving.
Okay, fair enough. It's a video chat, y'all. Video chat. Okay.
Here, I'll get on anyways.
All right, you're making me feel guilty now. Be safe. Okay. So goals are in, oh, who else did something cool? Who else had a success? No one wants to share anything? All right, we'll move on. Goals are in light green, actuals are in light gray. Please go ahead and get yourself updated on the spreadsheet as much as possible. So if you joined, like Ebony, for example, you joined the week of the 18th through the 24th. So ideally we would have your goals and actuals for that time period, even though they're probably going to be on the lower side, just because I'm sure you're being overwhelmed right now. And then the 25th, we want to do the goals and actuals too. So the I'm sorry, just the goals. So looks like, Ebony, you're actually changing adding in the actuals for this week. So just make sure you're doing that properly. So goals is in light green. If the number is 0, just put 0, and actuals leave blank until the end of the time period, okay?
Okay, so I need to do the, should I put in my actuals for last week?
Please, yes.
Okay.
Goals and actuals for last week.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. I want to just check in to see what are we doing really well and what are we struggling with right now. I want to take a minute just to make sure that we are, create a supportive environment for you and answer any quick questions that you may have. We also have a guest on today, Natasha, from the Market Center. She's been with us for a year or so, and she's checking us out today. So welcome. Okay, you guys are awful quiet today. Do I need to unmute you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Morning.
Jenny, tell us about your, well, I won't say anything you don't want me to say, but how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, Bill. I'm great. Great.
Awesome.
I just secured my listing, so I'm glad.
Oh, it's a signed deal now, right?
It's a signed deal. Yep.
All right, well, tell everyone about it then.
Mm-hmm. So I got a phone call last week from a friend of mine that lives over in St. Simons, and she said, Jenny, I have somebody I want you to call, and they have a property in Henry County. I want you to give them a call tonight. And I was like, okay, well, I'll call them in the morning. It's like 9 o'clock. And she said, 8 o'clock. She said, nope, call them tonight. Okay, tell me a little bit about the property. And she said, it's 221 acres, $4.9 million. I was like, so nervous. But I had to call them right then because she said, they're waiting on your call right now. That's when those scripts became very helpful that I've been practicing.
Ooh, go into some more detail for me on that, please.
Well, I don't like scripts, and I have been encouraged very strongly by Kathy Ray and Bill Linkwall to learn my scripts, and it helps so much because things came naturally.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I could focus on what he was saying instead of thinking about what I was going to say next.
That's a very good point. You can focus on what your prospect is saying without having to be distracted by thinking about what you're going to say next.
Yeah, that was very helpful when you told me that. I mean, like, that was when a light bulb went off. I was like, oh my gosh. Because you said you're going to say a script anyway.
I was just about to say that. You're going to hear the same conversations over and over and over, the same responses. And however you respond, that is your script. So you basically have a choice. You can either take a purposeful approach and say phrases that are rooted in psychology that you've internalized and memorized and that you know are proven, or it can just be completely happenstance and random and potentially unprofessional. Right. So now you have what type of listing again? Can you repeat that?
It's 221 acres and a 12,000 square foot house, 4.9 million. So like definitely the biggest deal I've ever had. Maybe not the biggest deal I will ever have because I'm going to start working really hard. It's going to be a lot of work, but I can do it.
Well, you know what John Maxwell says? He says nothing that everything.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you.
I want to make sure I read it exactly right. It says everything worthwhile is uphill. Okay. And no one accidentally goes uphill.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Gotta
Everything worthwhile is uphill and no one accidentally goes uphill. Right. It's going to take some effort. It's going to be challenging. There's going to be some frustrating days. You're probably going to have to spend more and invest more than you're used to investing in a listing.
That is exactly true.
You sell a $5 million house, you literally are going to be written up in the paper.
Well,
right?
I was like at wit's end. I was like, just like, am I ever going to sell another house? Like, am I ever going to sell another house? And then out of nowhere, this came. I was not prepared for it. And I certainly don't have experience in that price point. But all the things that I've learned recently have given me confidence. Like, I'm so serious about that. I was the anti-script person because I can talk well with people. I have a good relationship, but I didn't nail down the business side of it.
Well, the cool part about that is, number one, you have an awareness on the things that you need to improve on, and you've taken the first steps. And what you do have a ton of experience on is being a happy, giving, honest person that's fun to be around. And so you didn't just get that listing, you earned that listing.
That's right, I did. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So congratulations. That is awesome.
And then the other thing too, Jenny, is think about all the things you're about to learn. That's exciting too. All the things you haven't had to do before, and now you're going to learn a whole new skill set.
Yeah, you're going to you're going to have to hire like a drone photographer and, you know.
I've done all that, and I'm so proud of myself.
Like I found local mayor of Locust Grove and all that stuff.
Yes, like a lifestyle video and stuff. I'm excited about that. That'll be fun. But I'm usually like, I don't like to be outside of my comfort zone. So it's pushing me big time, out of my comfort zone. And that's challenging, but I can do it,
That's right. That brings me to one of the thoughts I wanted to share with you guys today, which is, what are you being intentional about improving? Right. We know that this is a business that is high risk, high reward, right? High pressure, high reward. And the more that we focus our activities on things that move the needle the most, and the more that we think the way we need to think so that we can get what we want when we want it, right? The more successful that we'll ultimately be. So what is it in your personal life or in your professional life that you are actively and intentionally working on improving right now? Is it your language? Is it your presentations? Is it your health? Is it your eating habits? Is it who you spend time with? Talk to me about that.
Kind of all of the above right now for me. Well, one thing that, I've had my license for a few years, but I really haven't done much with it. And, you know, I'm really buckling down on it now, but I can't tell you how many times people I know have bought houses and it's like they almost forgot I was a realtor or something, or,
Yeah.
you know, or, you know, they even had contacted me about it and said, hey, I'm looking for something soon. And, or I just forgot to get back to them. You know, I didn't write them down. You know, every single time you hear anybody talk about it or say, hey, you know, in the next 3 months, you know, write that down in your calendar to like contact them and just keep contacting them. And, you know, do that with everyone you have, you know, that way you don't forget anyone, because every one of those is an opportunity to make money and to get another house down. And say if it's, you know, say like a listing or something, you have the opportunity to advertise to that whole area with postcards and you know, all kinds of stuff like that, which then somebody else might see. And then that's why they say, you know, listings really help grow your business the most, because you can advertise yourself like that, you know.
100%. You know, this is I won't get political on this, but I heard the other day that so this is how important leverage is. Okay, so what are you leveraging? We hear during all this COVID stuff that the media is leveraging fear, right? The market's going up, the market's going down, the tests are high, the tests are low, Democrat, yeah, Republican, yeah, blah, 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 right? They're leveraging uncertainty and fear. Our version of leverage is listings, right? The more listings you got, the more you can get exposure into the marketplace. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, who
I
else
have a
wants to comment
question.
on that? Who else is actively taking an approach in their business or is about to identify what they're going to do to actively improve a skill that they have?
I feel that I'm pushing past my comfort zone on multiple different levels. I feel that with this new journey, I'm learning how to focus and prioritize. And it's a little hard. I think that one thing I'm super proud of is that I'm learning the software. I feel that until my foundation is strong, nothing else can I can't get past that without a strong foundation. So right now it's make sure that the foundation is strong, prioritize correctly, and push past that comfort zone. And those are going to be the three things that are going to take me to the next level eventually.
Right. It's like a confidence loop, right? If you've never spoken to a FSBO, then you don't speak to them, and then you don't have enough leads, and then you realize that you need to call FSBOs, but then you're afraid, so you don't talk to them, right? But if you just go and try it once and something cool happens, then you get past that initial level of fear, and then you have more confidence. So then you call more of them, and then you have more business, and then you have a bigger bank account, and you help more people, and then that gives you more confidence, right? So how are we going to like get in that loop? So until you actually put your foot down and say, I'm going to take action on this, and to my knowledge, no one has ever died by calling a FSBO. Right?
Jenny might.
I might. I just get so nervous, y'all. I do. I just get so nervous on the phone because I sound like I'm from under a rock. I know I do.
But the FSBO is going to say, who are you? Why should I hire you? Be like, yo, 4.9, baby.
Hey, here's one thing I really am trying to do.
Blue or black? Let's go.
And, oh my gosh, that's so good, Bill. That's so good. So one thing I'm going to try to do, back to your question, that I really want to do is I noticed that when I walk in the UPS store and I take a package to mail, the owner of the UPS store, you know, I guess they all own the people that are there own it usually. And he says, how's the real estate market? And there are like 4 or 5 people standing around right behind me or doing something else.
Nice.
And I got so nervous about what to say. And so I want to really perfect that speech, because that is an opportunity for 5 or 6 people to hear me talk about the local market.
100%. So that's generally going to come with a quick stat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Market's great. a third of homes are selling for over list price. And you know what? The average days on the market's going down. We need some sellers. Who do you know that wants to sell? By the way, he's inviting you to ask about his business. The guy that lives across the street from me, his father owns a UPS store in Long Island, I believe.
Yes.
And the store is struggling. Big
Really?
time. So you pretty much assume that any small business owner is having some it's complex now, right?
Yes.
Even if they're
Yes.
nailing it, they're dealing with a lot of new challenges, and they're having to work overtime to overcome kind of how to do business and with COVID and all these kind of things. So guys, don't forget to ask your network how their business is going, right? Is there anything I can do to help you in your business?
Yes.
Right? I mean, we all run the same business, guys. Okay? Find the people, serve the people, stay in touch with the people. Find the people, serve the people, stay in touch with the people. We just get paid more than most of them. Okay? We all do the same thing.
I find that I get nervous, like if somebody's talking about their business and I'm in line at standing in line somewhere, which I guess now that's going to kind of change, but or in the grocery store or something, and they'll say something, I'll say, "Oh, believe me, I sell real estate. I understand." And then I need to follow up with a good statistic, like a positive statement about things.
That comment could be interpreted negatively.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm aware of that. But like, if somebody saying, I don't know, they know I'm a real estate agent, but they don't, how's business? That's kind of like the question I need to figure out how to answer tactfully, but without saying, I know your business sucks, but I don't want to say like I'm doing awesome, because I'm not. I mean, I have a way to go before I'm doing awesome, but saying the market's strong or something.
We can teach other people how to think. That's what leaders do, is they teach people how to think so that they can get what they want. Don't be bashful about the fact that you're really improving your business and your mindset's improving and all this. And if your business is awesome, you don't need to make yourself small to make the guy that owns the post office feel good about stuff. His business still sucks. Okay. So just give him something to think about. Say, hey, my business is awesome. COVID's creating a lot of, it's making the business a lot more complex than it was a couple of months ago, but I'm working with a coach and I'm making calls every day and I'm helping a lot of families. As a matter of fact, I've just am starting a marketing campaign for a $5 million house at the south side of town, right? So things are happening, right?
That's a good way to say it. Complex. Things are complex. That makes it sound like you're working hard.
And if you're speaking to a small business owner, you can say, add in, like, as I'm sure it's become for you as well. So you can make a little more about them.
Yeah. Hey, what unique ideas are you using right now to expand your database or expand your reach? Right. Remember, the person who does the most talking feels the best when the conversation's over. Right. If let's say, Ebony, we're two business owners that are friends with each other, and we go have coffee at Starbucks, and I just ask you a pointed question every couple of minutes, and you do the vast majority of the talking, and then we part ways for the day. You're going to leave saying, oh my gosh, I love that Bill guy. And you won't be able to put your finger on why you love me, but the reason why you love me is because I let you talk all day.
That is true. And I didn't need, it actually took me until this year, actually last year, to learn that, because my fiance taught me that. Like, no one ever told me that my whole life. I was like, wow. And then I started trying it on people, and I'm like, this really works.
It's because
ask all the questions and let them do the talking.
They naturally want to communicate. And God, if they've been holed up in their houses for the last 3 months, it's even more that's even more the case. They're just like bursting at the seams to talk. Heather, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, being a new agent and not having had a single agreement, when people ask me how's business, usually they don't specifically say how's your business.
That's a really good point. I agree.
So my answer is usually then about the industry at large.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I am learning so much. And, you know, I hear so many people who say, I'm watching all these TV shows. And I said, I don't think I've watched a TV show yet. All my stuff, I'm doing webinars and I'm watching videos on how to grow. And, you know, my series is all about, you know, challenges and learning and figuring things out. And as far as the market, as far as business, things are staying on the market for 15 days if it's under 450. A lot of people who are in the situation right now, if they're in that 400, 450 range, then it's a really good time for them to level up to the next house with the interest rates how they are, because it's a seller's market and it's a buyer's market on that end if they're really close to that price point.
Yeah,
and
which
so,
is very rare.
Yeah. And so being able to say, you know, it's a good time to level up. It's a good time to do this. It's a good time to do that. Or, you know, I've noticed in Atlanta, like this is the stat for, you know, I've been using the Chartmaster stuff that people put out.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a client yet. I don't talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about the things you want to talk about, which is the organization you're a part of, or the coaching program that you're a part of, or how you spend your day getting smarter and becoming more proficient and learning the market and learning the business and building a foundation. And a lot of people don't, when they hear that stuff, they think you're like a whiz.
I've had people from that conversation, you know, I've had some follow-up stuff and I've added people in that way where they're like, oh, I'm going to be selling my house in a year. When my daughter graduates, I'll have to talk to you. And so then I know, like, okay, I have to keep in contact, and like I start putting him in the what's it called?
Command?
Your client database.
Yeah, but not just the database, the smart plan.
Smart plan, yeah.
Smart plan.
So y'all don't realize how lucky you are being new in the business. Agents that have been in the business for a long time, we have to learn all this new platform and try to, you know, figure out. We have that history of the old stuff, and it's complicated. I mean, you're so lucky that you're getting to learn command without having to, you know, like
resent it.
Or having to transfer everything from some other place and all these things. The other thing that a lot of us are building our business. What's that, Pam?
I said, and they can just start their business up right away in there and start, you know.
Gosh,
that's such an advantage. That's such an advantage for you. Like if somebody were buyers and sellers may not know that, but that's true. I mean,
also there's a big benefit to you starting your business in a bit of a shifted market. I mean, I started my business in a shifted market, and I had to build habits that were, you know, really, really activity based. I had to bust it to get business back then. And people, you know, like Jenny and Pam and Kathy and myself, who have been around for a number of years, and we've really enjoyed the fruits of the last 5 or 6 years. There's a lot of agents that forgot how to make phone calls. Right? Because so much business just flowed into our hands because the market was hot. And now the market is I'm not going to say it's not hot, but there's other factors involved, right? So the habits that I developed 15 years ago have really served me well. If I came into the business in the last 3 or 4 years and I was lazy because I didn't have to bust it, these are the people that have their head in the sand right now. And
that's very true.
They may not come out of this as agents.
That's right. Yep.
Well, and I, like, for a long time, I guess a long time, I haven't been in this a long time, but for you, it feels like a long time when you're first getting in and you're trying to like do things. Cause like I joined March 18th. Basically when the shutdown happened. My license wasn't active until May 5th.
Do it, girl.
You're gonna have a hell of a story to tell.
And so I've been pumping and pumping and pumping stuff into it, and for so long I was pumping into something that I couldn't do anything about. Really, on a level. And so now I feel like, but part of it in a way that was okay, because part of me, with how I'm wired, I wasn't ready to have a client mentally. because I want to know if I have a client, I know how to use the system. I know how to service things. Like, I'm not as worried about filling out the sheet for the first time as knowing where to find the sheet when the,
Right.
you know, because I know all the other stuff will happen. But now getting to a point where, okay, I've used Command enough. I know where the sheets are. I've gone through this process. And with my accountability partner, I watched her go through a process where she was filling everything out. And we're kind of working on things together that way and seeing what other people are doing. I'm more comfortable, like, okay, now I know what to do. I still don't really know what to do.
Yes, you do. You're doing a
Yes, you
great
do.
job. You're
And also,
gonna do awesome.
that goes back to scripts, right? When you know what to say,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't you're not afraid to get into conversations.
Yep.
When you don't know what to say, then you subconsciously are going to avoid those conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I'm okay with the conversations though. It's just more of like, because I've been getting a lot of feedback because I'm trying to build my social media pages and kind of, you know, pretty much geared towards more of real estate now. And the feedback that I'm getting is phenomenal. And I have a couple of people who are actually interested. Now they're not interested. I would love them to be interested in just wanting to buy or sell a home. And then they're like, no, I want to do commercial property and stuff. So I don't think that my disconnection is actually with being able to reach out and to get to the people. It's more of, just like what Heather said, it's just like when I actually have them, I can read the scripts and everything, but I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm doing everything right, because it's Command, again, is a lot. Yep. And I'm at the point where I'm learning it, but I'm not there. So I still think that it's the foundational issue and not the fact of selling something. I know I'm going to be great at that. It's this.
Well, remember that you have a community of people around you that are ready to help. You have myself, you have 2 agent mentors, you have an entire leadership team, you have an entire office of agents, you have an entire ALC. And we understand, you know, from a leadership and broker standpoint, this is going to sound really oversimplified, but we really only have to do 2 things to keep you here. Okay. We have to make sure you're selling homes and making money, and make sure you're supported. And if you're selling homes and making money and you have a friend and you're supported, you're going to stick around. And the second we drop the ball on allowing you not to make enough money for yourself, right? Or you lose the community, then you're a flight risk. And it's in our best interest to pour into you as much as possible so that you can build your community of support as fast as possible and maintain it and grow it, and that you make money. Right?
Well, and I mean, if you knew how to use Command and you were proficient at it, and there was a new agent, like let's say fast forward 5 years, and a new agent came on and she was like, I'm so nervous because I don't know how to use Command, wouldn't you sit down with her and say, I'll take time and show you? You know, you would want to help them.
Absolutely.
Right, but don't get
And there are a lot of
overwhelmed
people
with
here.
Command without going to find clients, right? Command is the back office administrative system right now. So if I was intimidated by Command, I would just go find so many clients and hand a file to somebody who wasn't intimidated by Command.
Because that's the goal. That's the goal anyway.
I don't know Command. I don't have time to learn it right now. Go deal with it. And then I'd go get another listing, and I'd walk back to the office and said, "Here, deal with this, please. I'll pay you a few $100, whatever you need." But I ain't got time.
Which is the goal. That's the goal anyway.
I'll take them. Send them my way. I'll take them.
Okay. All right. So I want you guys to remember a couple of things. Remember, bold is today from 2 to 4. The letters of the alphabet of the people that we're going to call have last names that start with F as in Frank, G as in Gary, M as in Mary, and X as in xylophone, I think. Okay. So F, G, M, X. Those are the 4 letters for this week. What are you doing? What are you being intentional about improving? I want you to give that some real thorough thought. Okay, it can be personal, it can be business, it can be multiple things. Okay, but I really want you to focus on let's do one thing this week that you're going to be super intentional about. Okay, please, guys. I don't want to have to remind you every single week to post your numbers. It only takes a second. It allows me to be a better coach. So please catch up through the month of May. If you have not put in your goals, your actuals, please put them in, and your goals for the last week in May. Okay. Don't forget your 15th of the month protocol. Go out and make those 40 contacts today and catch back up on your goals. If you do not have a economic model where you are clear on what those daily activities should be every single day, please send me a message and we will book an appointment so that we can create that privately and together. Okay.
I need to make an appointment with you.
All right. Send me a message. We'll put it on the calendar. Jenny, congratulations. That is, I mean, that is like a career type listing. Andrew,
Thank you.
congratulations on getting that deal under contract, and y'all keep up the good work. Okay.
Thank you for all your
Thanks,
help.
Bill.
My pleasure.
Jenny.
Bye, guys.
Bye.